So when I start quarter two and I start teaching the students how to code, the first thing that's very important to me is just getting them used to the basics. So if I open up CodePen right now and I go to my profile, the thing I'm going to start with typically is a reading log. So I've copied one of my old reading logs that I've used with my class from, I think this was 2 or 3 years ago. This one was, we were reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and all I had them do was start off with a title. I had them put the trailer for the movie Harry Potter in the page, and then I had them write their first impressions. So a lot of them had seen the movie, but they'd never read the book. So they just kind of put their opinion here. And then every day that we read a chapter, I would just have them put chapter 1, and we'd write down what happened. And then we'd also try to add some pictures of the characters. We kept this going for the entire time that we read Harry Potter. It was very good for them to see like the breaks that they had to use when they would add the video. It was good practice adding some pictures. So this is kind of what we wanted to recreate. And what I had them do was copy this address, and then I'd have them email it to me, and I would keep track of their reading logs in a Google Sheet. So you could do the same thing. But in any case, let's go ahead and create one of these ourselves. So if I go back to my main page and I go to a new pen, we can just start with whatever book that we happen to be reading. So let's say we're reading the Chronicles of Narnia reading log. Okay, so if we're reading the Chronicles of Narnia, the first thing I would probably have my students do is type the title. So H1, Chronicles of Narnia. And then we can go below here, H2, close H2 by C.S. Lewis. And if you wanted to be grammatically correct, go ahead and put the periods. By C.S. Lewis. Okay. Since we want everything to be centered, we can go ahead and add our center div right now, and I'm going to call it div id equals center. Why not? We can't forget, we can't forget to close the div, and you got to remind your students, especially at first, that any code that they write has to go between this div and this closed div. So we've got Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. Let's go ahead and center everything. Hashtag center, squiggly line, text align, center. For right now, it doesn't really matter what this looks like. If you'd like the students to change the font, you can have them do that, but I don't find it necessary right now. All I'm trying to do is get them to remember the basics of divs and adding text, and we can even go ahead now and add a trailer for the movie. So we're going to put it right here between these divs, and let's go ahead and look up YouTube, and we'll put Chronicles of Narnia trailer. And if you're allowed to show movies in class, if you're going to watch the movie, this is a good setup for that as well. So if we click the trailer, I'm going to press pause for right now. We'll go ahead and hit share. We'll embed this. And as you can see, we're just doing the same things over and over again. I'm going to copy the code, Control C. I'll bring it over here, and I'm going to paste it inside my div, Control V. So now we've got the trailer, and it is centered and it looks good. So you can have the students watch the trailer, and then still staying inside the div, you can have them write their first impressions. So we can do H2, first impressions, have them watch the trailer, and they can say, I liked the animals, whatever you'd like. And I'm not worried so much about formatting. The centering should be enough right now. And then as you read this to the class, or if you have them read it on their own, you can just have them write a paragraph or a few sentences about what happened in each chapter. So we'll do H1. Let's do H1. And we'll put chapter 1. H2. There is a war, and the children are moved to a safer house. and you can have them write a few sentences, whatever you'd like. If you want them to get a picture, you can have them look up an image of it, and there's all 4 of them right there. So we can say 2-finger click, copy image address, and we can put our code img src equals double quotes and hit Control V. And there's our picture. Now you can have them resize the picture. So if we want all of our images to be the same size, we'll say image, squiggly bracket, width, let's say like 300 pixels. Okay, that looks pretty good. And you can have them write their names. So every single chapter, you can just have them write a few sentences and add a picture if you'd like.